Hey, what's up guys, MashShiny here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we've got a great one lined up for you. We're going to be going over how specifically I make some extra money on Steam. You can do it as well. We're going to be going over how to flip skins and how to make trade ups for profit. Let's hop on into it. Now before we get too far into it, I got to tell you about 3 Chrome extensions that I personally use, and I think they're probably going to help you as well. The first 2 are pretty well known. That's going to be the Steam Inventory Helper. This one's got over 1 million users. You've probably heard of it if you're a little bit interested into this before this video. The second one is going to be the CSGOFloat Market Checker. Both of these very popular. You probably have them installed already. The third one is Steam Market History Plus. This is basically whenever you sell an item on Steam, it goes into your Steam Market History. This just makes it significantly easier to find everything there, especially if you're someone that plans to do this a lot. It's going to be making it much easier to look back upon your past transactions, and personally, I just like it because it makes everything nice and organized. Now in the past, I made a video specifically talking about how to flip skins, and that video definitely is still relevant if you want to do so, but I go over more specifically skins that I've worked with in the past rather than how to find specific skins to flip, and I feel like that's a lot more important, and especially considering that video is over a year old, it's definitely due for an update. Heading over to the Steam market, there's going to be a couple big things that you need to work with right off the bat. The first thing I like to do is not include any souvenir skins or skins that are coming in battle scarred or well worn. For me, this is just something basic. You're much more likely to end up getting burned on a flip if you've got these skins that are much less liquid, and generally speaking, those are going to be your souvenirs or your well worn or battle scarred skins. For most people that are just getting into flipping skins, these are too complicated. There's too many little caveats or pits you're going to fall into, so I just highly suggest you avoid these if you're quite new to flipping skins. Now, one thing that's going to be very important is you can't stay with the same settings all the time, or else you're just going to be running into the same skins. These are the settings I'm going to be working with today. I'm looking for field tested, minimal wear, factory new, normal, or stat tracks, and I'm going to be looking at restricted or classified skins. This is what I'm working with today. Whatever you feel comfortable with, I definitely recommend you go for that. It comes down to the price point you want to be at and the margin you want to achieve, so this is what I'm working with today. So I've been looking for around a couple minutes now, and I've picked out 2 skins that I like. I'm going to be going over why I like them, what specifically I think you should be doing and looking for, and what specifically a lot of people miss. So the first skin I have here is a stat tracked P250 Nevermore. First up, we got to look at the collection. It's from the Danger Zone collection, which is not an active duty collection, therefore it's good enough for me. I like to avoid the active duty collections. The next thing is coming down to the buy orders and the price point. You might be looking at this and thinking that there's no way that I'm going to be able to make a profit here, but the thing is, a lot of people don't realize you don't have to be the cheapest buy order on the market to still get items. Right here, I will go with a buy order of $1.06, and once I eventually get items, I'm going to be listing them not for the cheapest price point on the market. What I highly recommend you do is in a separate tab, pull up just a random item in your inventory, and you can plug in the price points of your buying and selling points. Here, if I'm going to put a buy order in for $1.06, which I would recommend in this circumstance because $1.05 is just a little bit too much competition, but we could move up to $1.11. There's just not going to be enough profit here. The way I like to do it is I'll throw in a ton of buy orders out there, just throwing in 5 or 10 on a skin here, and hopefully I end up getting them over time. I'm not looking to get these tomorrow. If I wanted them tomorrow, I could throw in a $1.11 buy order, and you could see here that I would have to sell them for $1.27 just to get my money back, which is not going to work because $1.27 is the price point that I think we should be selling these at, and with a buy order of $1.06, that's going to be a 5-cent profit per skin that we can turn out. Now there's 2 important things I haven't gone over yet. The first one is this sheet right here. I just have it called Flipping Skins Sheet. It's going to be linked in the description, but basically it's just a very easy way to track what you've been going on with. You've got your skin name, the price you bought it at, the price you must sell at to break even, your desired sell price, and then the profit that's going to become of this. But basically, this is just a very quick and easy way to make sure you're profiting on every item, and if for some reason it doesn't sell at your desired price, you know what you can go down to while still making a profit on it. And the second thing is why this actually works. Now we're over here at the Operation Breakout weapon case here. This is because it's a very liquid item and it's very easy to see the ups and downs throughout the day. Now this is very important because there's certain times throughout the day where more items are being bought on the market than there are listed. And this is very important because these are the times where you can see the price goes up for a short period of time before it once again falls back down. This is very important because we're going to be taking advantage of this and making the maximum amount of profit by selling at the best times rather than just the quickest time. Now I'm going to go through a whole nother example, and I'm actually going to cut most of it out. The main gist you got to get of this is now we're looking at a factory new skin, and the main point I try to get at is this factory new skin is very desirable in a low float. In fact, if you get a float that's under 0.03, you can sell it for more cash value than you're using on Steam and just Steam funds. You can look on Buff and see how expensive it is there. But this is very important because you don't want to miss this opportunity, and that's the main thing that comes with factory new skins, or even potentially field tested skins that you get in a very low float. Just don't miss that opportunity. Make sure you're checking Buff if it seems like it's an unusually low float. Now when we move on over into the trade up section, there's a couple different ways you can go with it. What I usually start off doing is I will just take a random rarity, and then what I like to go through is I will just go through and click 10 random skins, and I do 0.21 for the floats on field tested and 0.1 for the floats on minimal wear. We're not going to be using any minimal wear in this situation, but that's usually what I like to stick to because it's not terribly hard to get. It's actually possible, but you're going to be giving yourself the most opportunity to actually get a good trade up and actually make a decent amount of profit with it. And once you find a trade up that's at least close to being profitable, it's very worthwhile to check it out. You might be able to lower your inputs a couple cents. We're not able to here, unfortunately, but if you're able to lower it just 2 to 3 cents, that's overall 30 cents that's going to be going back into your profit on average, which is very significant. And once you do that, you can go ahead and check out your outputs as well. I don't like Tradeup Spy that much for their profitability counter because usually their skins are not that great priced. They're taking the absolute lowest prices, which we're not going to be selling at because we don't need this money immediately, and it's going to be making you much more money if you don't sell for the cheapest price. But unfortunately, even with all of our changes, this one's not going to be profitable, so I'm going to show you a different type of trade up that you're going to be able to access for just 99 cents. The other way you can go with it is if you want to pay 99 cents, get access to all of my past trade ups. There's about 40 of them at the time I'm recording. You can go ahead and get trade ups like this one. This one, you can see the price point's not right because it's from a while ago. But if I just want to replace that with a 50-cent price point, which is what it's suggesting, I can go down and I can get rid of these and I can replace them with the correct price. And you can see here that this is still a no risk trade up. This is still a very profitable trade up provided you're able to get this float, which is one of the harder parts with no risk trade ups. But I can find a no risk trade up, which I've talked about in the past, but this one's slightly different, and therefore I've still got a brand new no risk trade up. Now if you guys want to see an entire video talking about trade ups, I can definitely do that, but honestly it's really simple to do. I suggest you just take a past trade up from me or potentially somewhere else on the internet and just put a little spin on it, make it your own, make it slightly easier by using a different collection, and you're going to be able to go ahead and figure out a pretty profitable trade up relatively quickly, and it's not going to be very hard to do. The hardest thing is coming up with brand new trade ups, which is what I do, but you don't have to. You can take part of my trade ups, put it together with someone else's trade ups, and make a boat ton of money because no one else is going to be doing this trade up, and it's also probably going to be pretty easy to do so. So many people are not willing to invest the 15 minutes into finding a trade up that could be making them an extra $1 every day. It's not super hard to do, and honestly, if you really want to find a lot of profitable trade ups, they're out there. I mean, I can bang out about 4 profitable trade ups in about an hour's work, and usually they're not too terrible on the floats. If you want to get really hard on the floats, you can make a lot more money. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.